All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about something every single one of us feels every single day, just wanting stuff. It sounds so simple, right? But believe it or not, that one little feeling, it's pretty much the engine that drives the entire field of economics. No, really, I want you to think about it for a second. What's one thing you really want right now? Go on, picture it. Is it that new gadget, a dream vacation? Heck, maybe it's just a fantastic cup of coffee. Whatever popped into your head, that feeling, that desire, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. And trust me, it's way more powerful than you probably think. Okay, so before we can really get a handle on this whole wanting thing, we've got to do a little sorting. We need to draw a clear line between the stuff we literally can't live without and, well, everything else. So in one corner, you've got your basic needs. These are the absolute non-negotiables, right? Food, a roof over your head, clothes on your back, survival stuff. Then in the other corner, you have your wants. Things like a new TV, a car, a trip to the movies. This isn't about surviving, it's about living a little better. These are what we usually call luxuries. But here's where it gets kind of tricky. That line between a need and a want, it can get super blurry. I mean, think about a car. For someone living in a big city with an amazing subway system, a car is totally a luxury. But for someone out in the country who needs it to get to their job, that same car is an absolute essential. It's all about perspective. It's deeply personal. And that very personal nature of our desires brings us to a really key idea in economics. It's all about how we organize this mess of wants and needs. There's actually a name for it, the scale of preference. What does that mean? Well, think of it like this. Every single one of us has this invisible list in our head. And on that list, we're constantly ranking what we want, from the most urgent thing at the top to the least urgent at the bottom. If you could only have one thing right now, what would it be? Whatever just popped in your head, that's your scale of preference at work. So why is your list completely different from, say, your neighbors or even your best friends? Well, it's because it's shaped by literally everything that makes you who you are. Your culture, how you were raised, all the crazy experiences you've had, and yeah, just what you happen to like and dislike. It's why no two people had the exact same list, ever.
Okay, but here's the real kicker. That list you just pictured in your head, it is not set in stone, not even close. In fact, it's constantly shifting, evolving, changing. Our wants are a total moving target.
I mean, for one, we all get older. Just think about it. The thing you desperately wanted when you were, say, 15, it's probably pretty different from what's at the top of your list today, right? And then life happens. Big life changes can totally flip your list upside down. Maybe when you're single, all you want is a slick two-door sports car. But then you start a family, and bam, suddenly that want for a sports car gets replaced by a need for a five-door family car. The whole priority list just got a major rewrite. And of course, we're social animals. Let's be honest. Sometimes a want doesn't even exist in your brain until you see your friend get something new and cool. And suddenly, just by seeing them with it, a brand new desire is born. It's like, I didn't know I wanted that, but now I do. It works the same way with new information, too. You could be perfectly happy, then you watch some health program on TV, and all of a sudden, a desire to get fit, something you literally weren't thinking about an hour ago, shoots right to the top of your priority list. All right, so where does all of this leave us? We've seen how our wants work, but why does it matter so much? Well, this is where we tie it all together and get to the absolute heart of the matter, the fundamental problem of economics. So let's just quickly recap what we know for sure. Our wants are personal, right? They're basically endless, and they're always changing. Keep those three things in mind because they lead to one massive, inescapable conclusion. And here it is. This is the core idea. We are constantly facing this one fundamental problem. We have limited resources, but unlimited wants. It's this epic mismatch. We, as human beings, can dream up an infinite number of things to want. But the stuff we need to get those things, time, money, materials, that stuff is limited. It's finite. That tension, that gap between what we want and what we can actually have, that is the fundamental economic problem. Honestly, you could say that the entire field of economics is just the study of how we, as people, as societies, try to solve this one giant, complicated puzzle. So that leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? If it's just in our nature to always want more, but we live in a world that has real limits, What do we do? How on earth do we decide what's important? What do we choose to pursue, and what do we have to let go of? And that choice, right there, is something every single one of us has to make every single day.